It could be for any number of different reasons. What are we talking about? The greater crime here is not the potential thought crime of having Hasan Nasrallah on your phone. The greater crime is the fact that the American government is going through the phone of a person coming into the United States as though it's a normal part of the process of entry.
Amid the Trump administration's immigration crackdown, PhD candidate Ranjani Srinivasan says she fled the country after her student visa was suddenly revoked. She sat down with Lilia Luciano to tell her story in her first TV interview.
The events in the last 2 weeks have sort of spiraled out of control.
37-year-old Ranjani Srinivasan is originally from India. She's been in the U.S. legally as a PhD student of urban planning at Columbia University. But in early March, she was suddenly notified that her student visa was being revoked.
I was talking to the advisor from the international students office on Zoom. She was reassuring me that I'm fine. ICE was knocking on my door.
Without a visa.
The excuse being repeated by media outlets that Israel stopped this. Hamas doesn't want to release the hostages. Is that true? What do you think? Of course it's not true. Anything that Israel... Dude, I'm sorry. There is a handful of moments where Israel has told the truth. Okay? Not even a handful. There's like, it's much easier to figure out when Israel has told the truth than not. They always lie. Literally, always. Governments lie all the time, but Israel is a particularly gross offender. All governments lie, but Israel is egregious and consistent. No. The reason why the ceasefire fell apart is because Israel already was violating the conditions of the ceasefire to begin with, not letting in enough aid that they previously had agreed upon, or even shutting off aid in its entirety this past week, but then completely ending the ceasefire talks. We want to move on to phase 2 of the ceasefire, where the hostage, like the prisoner swaps would continue. They didn't want to get to the second phase of the ceasefire because they never wanted to stop bombing Gaza. They wanted to continue bombing Gaza. It's that simple. They want to continue the ethnic displacement and ethnic cleansing campaign. Everything Israel says and does is projection.
Her enrollment at Columbia was terminated, and fearing she'd be detained indefinitely, she fled to Canada. The issue seems to stem from last year's pro-Palestinian protest on Columbia's campus. On April 30th, students occupied a building. That night, NYPD officers arrested hundreds on and off various university campuses, including Srinivasan. But she says she was not involved at all.
You were not inside Hamilton Hall?
No, I was in faculty.
You weren't even protesting that day?
No, I was on the way back home. Barricade lease. I think the police charged.
Maybe skip the cloud server for now. You got it, man. Let me just end the broadcast for today. Like, I can't, okay? I know that it's effing. I know that it's skipping. You're just going to have to live with it, all right? Thanks for the feedback, chatter. Yes, every now and then there's going to be a minor blip. It's okay.
At us.
She was cited for obstructing the sidewalk and failure to disperse. Those charges were dismissed. But according to DHS sources, she did not include those citations in her visa renewal application.
If I made a mistake, I would be happy to clarify that with the state. I never meant to conceal anything. I've been in complete compliance with my visa. I would like a chance to clear my name.
In a statement, DHS accused her of being involved in activities supporting Hamas without providing any proof.
The Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, said that you are a sympathizer.
I just found it absurd. I'm not a sympathizer.
For now, she's stuck in limbo and worries the crackdown will have an effect that goes far beyond free speech.
I came to the US because I really like the academic culture, and you have a lot of academic freedom, something that you don't really find anywhere else in the world. But currently, I do think that there is a crazy climate of fear in universities, and especially in Columbia.
So do you think the thing that brought you to the U.S. is ending?
Yes.
Columbia told us once a student visa is revoked, it has to unenroll a student. Srinivasan's lawyers argue that those dismissed citations should not have had any impact on her visa eligibility. We asked DHS for clarification on this case, but we did not get a response. To be clear, the government does have ample discretion when it comes to revoking student visas.
This is more so a process of should they. We just talked about a student. We just talked about a student having their visa revoked and having to escape the country. Okay. For the most minor of reasons, which again, not because of like the fact that she was falsely detained and didn't report on it or anything like that, but instead because she dared to protest against Israel. Now let's move on to the doctor from Rhode Island who was here in the United States on an H-1B visa, denied admission to the U.S. because of photos on her phone. This is a doctor that works in a very specialized unit in Rhode Island that has an H-1B visa for this reason. She also happens to be from Lebanon. Okay, let's take a look at why she was denied entry into the United States of America.
Information about why a Brown University professor was denied entry to the U.S. even though she had a valid visa. As WBZ's Louisa Moeller shows us, because of photos on her phone and her answers to certain questions.
It's a kidney transplant doctor. She works in my family. This shit is insane. Yes.
Customs officials consider her a possible threat.
Court documents say Rasha Alloway had just gotten off a plane at Boston Logan last Thursday, on her way to be an assistant professor and doctor at Brown University on an H-1B or work visa when she was detained and sent back to her home country of Lebanon. Now, new court filings are providing evidence as to why. After arriving in Boston, officials searched her phone and was interviewed by Customs and Border Protection.
Bro, this is straight up Israel shit, by the way. This is what Israel does to the Palestinian citizens of Israel. This is what Israel does in the West Bank to Palestinians in the West Bank. America is now doing Israel shit for Israel, ironically enough. It's just Nazi shit. Oh, let me see your phone. Oh, sorry. That's a thought crime. That is crazy.
Protection official. She was asked why she had photos of
Yeah, it's what people say China does to everybody. That's what's so crazy. This is literally like, oh, yeah, this is, I bet that's what they're doing in China. They don't, by the way. That's crazy.
Hezbollah fighters and martyrs, including photos of the designated terror group's assassinated leader, Hasan Nasrallah, on her phone. She answered,
oh, my God. I can't believe that she had a photo of Hasan Nasrallah on her phone. I guess, nope, sorry. Visa revoked. We are straight up psychopaths, dude. This is insane. But why would she have the pic? I don't know, a million different reasons. Maybe she loves Hasan Nasrallah. Is that a good enough reason to be like, yeah, sorry, no more H-1B visa? What do you mean, why does she have the pic? I have pictures of Osama bin Laden in my phone. What are you talking about? Okay, let's hear her answer. What are you entertaining in this process? What kind of photos do you have on your phone? Does that mean I love Osama bin Laden? No. What do you mean? What is this take, dude? What are we doing? No, don't, Hasan. Don't say that. They will see it. No, that's ridiculous. I have pictures. I'm a political commentator. I have pictures of many prominent political figures on my phone from memes that I've screenshotted. This is idiotic. It could be for any number of different reasons. What are we talking about? The greater crime here is not the potential thought crime of having Hasan Nasrallah on your phone. The greater crime is the fact that the American government is going through the phone of a person coming into the United States as though it's a normal part of the process of entry. What the hell? It's a direct invasion of people's privacy. Did they have protection for this? Like, did they have a search warrant for this? You can't just like go through someone's phone like this. I hope you understand. Yeah. Imagine they're going to start revoking people's like citizenship and revoking people's visa status for having Saddam Hussein whole pictures in their fucking phones. You know what I mean? Sorry, this meme means that you love terrorism. And for the record, she literally could say over and over again that she loves Hasan Nasrallah. Revoking someone's entry into the country over that, regardless of what the czar is psychotic. I disagree with it on principle. What the fuck do you mean? This is why I try to. This is why I kept talking. This is why I kept talking about the Mahmoud Khalil story, where I said it's completely. She's coming to the States with a picture of a terrorist that country deems a terrorist. They have a right to refuse. Like I said, really? Okay. So if she had a photo of Nelson Mandela coming into the United States in 2008, that's like perfectly reasonable grounds of anyone. Fuck it, Adolf Hitler. What do you mean? You can't just fucking deny people entry to the country for that reason. That's such an idiotic fucking reason. He's no longer, no, that's why I said 2008, dipshit. 2008. The fuck are we talking about, dude? Not only is having a photo on your phone not an endorsement, but what if they did have? What if it was an endorsement? I don't give a shit if it's an endorsement. What are you talking about? That's what I keep explaining to people. Free speech is not just like, oh, I'm scared now, so it doesn't matter. That's not how this works. Same with fucking due process. Okay? Having an opinion on something aside, like not appreciating something or being very critical of something aside, the government violating your rights is unheard. It's completely unacceptable. Is that a law? No. The law is that she can, there's no problem with her fucking having a picture of anybody. What are you talking about? Sure, make it the law when I come to your country. Then, oh my God, you're not even American. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's nothing. Dude, American hogs are incredibly low on the bottom of the fucking totem pole, all right, in terms of like being servile little piglets. But a guy who's not even an American, who's LARPing as a fucking American hog, is unimaginable, dude. Oh my God, you are lower than the dumbest inbred hog, you fucking Ian Miles Chong ass motherfucker. Holy shit. Fantasizing about being an American hog. LMFAO, if you think I'm a hog, well, you're oinking like one right now. You're squealing like a fucking little piglet.
Many came from family and friends through a WhatsApp group. And about Nasrallah, quote, he's highly regarded in the Shia community and he's a religious and spiritual person. As I said, he has a very high value. She also told the official she attended a Hezbollah rally, quote, I attended the commemoration of the death of Nasrallah during this trip while I was waiting for my visa. The customs official refused her admission and canceled her visa. She was detained and put back on a plane to Lebanon on
This right here is completely unacceptable. Is it a matter of Customs and Border Enforcement? Yes. It's still completely fucking unacceptable. Do you understand? It's completely unacceptable. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. If someone came to the U.S. with a picture of Hitler on their phone, Trump would hire them on the spot. True. Yeah. So within legal rights, but you don't like it, so change it, but don't get mad they're enforcing the current laws. Okay, you can't say I'm not a hog and then say the most hoggish motherfucking thing on the planet, dude. It's like if I was doing commentary during the fucking slavery era, being like, this is unjustifiable, and you're like, well, just change the rules around slavery then. Stop complaining about it. No, the photo part is not. The Customs and Border Patrol has broad discretionary powers over denying entry into the United States of America. Many of those rules are outdated, antiquated, oftentimes not applied because it's fucking idiotic. The picture part of this conversation is not a part of the law. Having said that, you can be like, oh, well, I saw that you went to the Hasan Nasrallah funeral. We don't like that. We are denying you entry into the country because Customs and Border Patrol have broad, expansive powers in comparison to revoking someone's citizenship. This is something that I stressed when I was talking about the Mahmoud Khalil, the Mahmoud Khalil story. It doesn't really matter though, because they're burning the candle on both ends, as they are obviously engaging in insane levels of enforcement on American legal permanent residents anyway. Having said that, however, the notion where you're like, oh, we'll just change it while I'm actively in the process of criticizing the fucking existing mandate that is so ridiculous that the government usually doesn't apply this, okay, and will apply leniency because it would be fucking impossible to enforce and also ridiculous. Once again, you're turning around and being like, well, change the law then. Okay, dude, I can't even change the law in the direction of giving everybody health care, okay? Hope you're ready for the Ethan clip to say this. You're pro-terror. I don't care. I don't care. The real terrorism here is what the American government is doing. What are we talking about? The notion that like someone going to the Hasan Nasrallah funeral is enough to be like, yeah, you're a highly specialized doctor that works on patients. Sorry, fuck your patients. Your American patients. We don't care anymore. You can't come into the country is psychotic. It's insane. Yeah. It's also idiotic to assume that Ethan Klein was not going to call me a terrorist or a terror lover or an Islamist fundamentalist or whatever insane thing that he comes up with on a daily basis, call me a fucking anti-Semite over and over again without this clip. You know, he's been doing that. Trust me. I agree with you 90% of the time, but this one I can't see it. Okay, let me explain this in terms that you could understand. Is there anything? Are there any photos of I don't know, memes or terrorists? Is that why it's odd? Okay, that's why I always bring up the example of fucking Nelson Mandela. He was on the terror watch list until 2008, okay? It doesn't matter. It's ridiculous. This doesn't apply. This standard does not apply across the board. If that was the case, then Kahanis would not be allowed into George Bush funeral. Did you just compare Hasan Nasrallah to fucking George Bush? Are you out of your mind? George Bush. First of all, I don't think that anyone should be denied entry into the country for going to the George Bush funeral. That's number one. Number two, George Bush killed millions. What are you saying? I appreciate that you're willing to say it so bluntly. The media is too scared to say the truth. This is free speech that we need to fight for, not the right wing's imaginary fight against same pronouns. I know. All of the free speech defenders, when actual violations against free speech occurs, are not only not quiet, but they're actually actively on the side of violating free speech. This is ridiculous. Like, how many people that are directly in the IDF and have done war crimes have been able to come back into the United States freely? What are we talking about? I'm not even talking about people who are pro-Israel, pro-baby murder, pro-genocide. I'm talking straight up people who conducted it. And they get to walk in freely and operate on U.S. soil as though they did nothing at all. And you're over here being like, well, this doctor went to the Hasan Nasrallah funeral. I think it's suspicious. What do you mean? How is that suspicious? The fuck does that mean? Say what you actually mean. Do you think this person is a terrorist? That's the question. Do you think this person is a terrorist? It pairs up so nicely with what we just talked about with the previous story of a person being falsely detained by police and signing off on a Architects Against Genocide petition and then liking Instagram posts and then having their student visa revoked for that reason. No, I don't. I just see how the current government see that as a high red flag. What do you mean? I don't care what the government considers to be a red flag. I think it's a fucking ridiculous, erroneous reason to basically engage in a self-own here, by the way, because an H-1B visa for a Lebanese doctor working at Brown University at the highly specialized like kidney unit is obviously the perfect example of someone that needed to be in the United States of America, where they were like, we have to give this person, a Lebanese doctor, this visa because we need her here. America is cooking itself in an effort to, it's a self-inflicted, okay? Denying entry into the country for this person at the behest of an idiotic notion that like this person has radical, dangerous ideas is so stupid. Just a hypothetical, not saying anything about the doctor, but under their ideal society, should we allow someone with pictures of fan of Hitler in their camera roll? Yes! 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 I do. I do think that. Yes. Same with Benjamin Netanyahu. Same with fucking Adolf Hitler. Yes. Do you want to know why? Because this is erroneous enforcement. Okay? Yes. This is, what an idiotic question. Shall I give you prominent examples of how people don't even look in that direction? I already did. I already gave you an example of that. Virtually, people that are pro-IDF get to travel freely into the United States as the IDF is doing genocide in Gaza. Okay? They get to travel freely into the United States. The fucking former leadership Like, we had Yoav Galan here. He has an ICC warrant for war crimes. He fucking came to the United States of America to the press store. What are you talking about? We're not only letting Nazis into the country, we're putting them in prominent positions of fucking...
Friday.
I mean, I think that they're within their rights to say, well, we haven't been properly served.
Lawyers for Alloway said Customs and Border Protection ignored an order by a federal judge allowing the doctor to stay in the U.S. for 48 hours while her case was reviewed. CBP argues their attorneys didn't get the order until after Alloway was in the air. And as for her interview, immigration attorney Stephen Roth says Customs and Border Protection can search anyone's phone for national security reasons inside an airport and reserves the right to refuse admission to immigrants even if their visa has been approved by the State Department.
But CBP has statutory, regulatory, and legal precedent on their side that allow...
Yeah. The previous incident and Mahmoud Khalil are incidents where the American government is grossly overstepping previously established boundaries. This right here is technically within the legal confines. Okay? Having said that, I still disagree with it vehemently. Do you understand? It's one of those circumstances where, like, the government does technically have the right to do this. I disagree with it because I think it's a fucking stupid way to operate. If you can't comprehend the dangers of behavior, if you can't comprehend the dangers of this sort of behavior, all right, you don't understand how this might impact you in the future. You have a million photos on your phone. The government pulls you aside. They look through your phone. You got memes of Osama bin Laden. You're denied entry. Your visa is revoked. Ridiculous. It's quite literally saying thought crimes. It's here. It's here. We're not letting you in for thought crimes.
Allows them to search anyone's phone coming into the United States.
A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security.
Your boys in kneecap are currently in America. I put money on one of the fellas having a Bobby Sands photo in their phones. Dog, kneecap literally posted a photo reading quotations from Hasan Nasrallah like a couple of weeks ago. Güzel yürüdü mü? Okay. Eyvallah. Eyvallah. Tamam. Teşekkür ederim.
Said a visa is a privilege and not a right, and quote, glorifying and supporting.
Having memes of Hussein and going to a prominent public figure funeral is way different. No, it's still on the same. It is still the same principle. Okay, it is still the same principle. Like, we don't person. It doesn't matter. If you go to Luigi's court proceeding, the standard is this. Okay, let's say you are a green card holder, a legal permanent resident. Okay, let's say, because we haven't officially moved on to denaturalization yet. We're not there yet. Okay? I'm going to walk you through this. You went to Luigi Mangione's court trial. Okay? You showed support to Luigi Mangione publicly. Luigi Mangione is currently on trial for terrorism. Okay? You have photos of Luigi Mangione on your phone. You come back into the United States of America. Customs and Border Patrol goes through, have deleted Luigi Mangione photos off your phone. They find it in the deleted bucket in your phone. Okay, they look through the metadata. They figure out that you have Luigi Mangione sympathies. They find out that you've been to the Luigi Mangione trial. They take away your pathway to citizenship. They take away and revoke your green card. They take away your student visa. Do you think this is appropriate? Because both Luigi Mangione is considered a terrorist and so is Hasan Nasrallah. Do you understand? How do you not recognize that if they can do this today, these arbitrary reasons can be applied today, right now? Mehdi says, arbitrary reasons for deportation is a clear avenue for legalized discrimination. Exactly. The whitewash narratives in defense of this shows how many people have lost the plot as to what free speech is and means. Thank you. Exactly. That is exactly what's going on. I had to use a fucking white dude for some of these dumb fucks to understand, even though they're in the fucking community of a dude whose name is Hasan and gets called a fucking terrorist every day. How do you not understand that you being in here right now could mean that your citizenship could be revoked in the fucking future? You're so stupid. Jesus Christ. It's the same fucking name. Oh. If they no longer care about due process And if they arbitrarily designate people as terrorists or showing sympathies to terrorists, one day you will be in the fucking crosshairs. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Terrorists who kill Americans is grounds for visa issuance to be denied. Dr. Alloway's case in federal court has been continued to later in the month. At Logan Airport, Louisa Moeller, WBZ News.